launching it at the 41. What a hit! Ball's free, on the ground. South Carolina deserves to have it.
Seth Rollins just curb stomped Randy Orton.
And with that curb stomp, the future is now.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the 5-Star Podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Little, and I'm here with my guest, Ken Beverly today. How's it going, Ken?
Pretty good. How's it going?
Okay. Ken is an amateur MMA fighter right now. Where you go to school at?
Perry County Central.
So you're a Perry County boy.
Yes, sir.
What makes a high schooler want to beat up people on the weekends?
Well, getting whooped in 5th grade. Then wanting to become a professional fighter.
Okay, so you want to, so you're an amateur fighter right now, and we were talking earlier, and you said that your goal was to be a professional fighter, and evidently that's going to happen sometime in the near future.
Yeah, my next fight coming up is going to be a professional fight. It'll probably be in somewhere between January or February.
January, February, do you know what it's going to be at, or?
No, not yet. It ain't scheduled.
Still trying to figure that out. So,
yeah.
So when was your first amateur fight?
I turned 18 April 5th. On April 11th, I started my first cage fight, and it was in Lexington, Kentucky.
So April, and you're 6-0 now. So you've had 6 fights in between then and now.
Yep.
Man, that's a lot of fighting. And what's up with your arm?
In my last cage fight, about 2 weeks ago, I broke it in Harlan.
How'd you break it?
Punching him.
Punching a guy. So that's the best way to break. If you're going to break your hand in an MMA fight, that's the best way to do it. Punching a guy. Don't let them break your hand. Don't let them break your hand. How long does that keep you out of action?
Probably roughly before I would be able to fight again. Probably about 8 weeks.
8 weeks. But you can still train a little bit
with this hand.
So what does as training, what does that entail for an amateur MMA fighter?
A lot of cardio, lifting weights, a lot of drilling, a lot of grappling, and a lot of sparring.
You mentioned cardio, and I watched one of your fights a little earlier in the day, and I saw there was one that went to decision, and at the end of it, it looked like that you guys were just you guys were just, and that's not a knock on this kid's cardio. Well, I've seen UFC fights that when they go the distance, I mean these guys are rolling around, trying to slam each other and trying to pass guard and stuff, and it really takes a lot out of you.
Oh God,
so,
yeah.
And I looked at it, and I'm not, obviously my cardio isn't where it needs to be, if you guys can't tell, but but you like had the guy in a choke, and you could tell that you didn't have it, and he got out of it, and then you guys were trading back and forth.
Oh
and
God,
you kept punching him, but it just, at that point
it's like nothing.
So are your hands, is just everything?
Oh yeah.
At that point,
everything in that fight, I went totally numb, because before the fight I cut 12 or 13 pounds in 2 days, and I went in there and dehydrated and stuff. But I went in there and I knew after that first round my arms they went limp, and I was like, oh God. So I just had to do what I had to do though, just to try to pull out of it.
Well, I'm going to have to get with you after the show, and we're going to have to talk about how to lose 12 or 13 pounds in 2 days. whatever you're doing, I need to get on that. But how do you? I've heard stories of cutting weight, and so explain what exactly is cutting weight?
Basically trying to bundle up as much as you can, like put jackets or long sleeve shirts, stuff like that, and run, do a lot of cardio exercise and stuff like that, like grappling and sparring, any kind of stuff that'll make you burn weight. As long as you're pouring a sweat, you cut like probably 4 or 5 pounds a night.
So, and when you do that, is that to make because I understand from what I gather, and I'm not an MMA fighter, but
Yeah.
you cut weight before you make weight,
Oh God, yeah.
and then after that, do you bulk back up really quick, or?
Oh yeah, rehydrate.
So what goes into that? So you cut weight, and I know in UFC I see that these guys get off they're taking IVs as soon as they get off the scales, basically.
Yeah, make sure they ain't going to dehydrate themselves, and that's why they go ahead and they rehydrate, drink what they have to. I usually drink something like Pedialyte or Gatorade, something that's going to refill me, get me back and ready up to where I was.
And so you cut that weight and then you rehydrate back, but that affects you in the fight. Some say it affects you in fights negatively. So it makes you weak, a little hard harder to go.
If you cut a bunch of weight in the shortest amount of time, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be killed out in that fight.
Oh.
You want to do it about a couple weeks off before.
Okay, I've got before we get into these this hardware here, we got a quick video of some of Ken's fights. If you've not seen him, you fight around here sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Around here, but I know I saw Hazard and Harlan on your list, but you've also got Lexington, Louisville, South Carolina. So,
Yeah.
So you might have to drive. His mom told me before that they've packed up and drove many miles to keep up with your fights. But let's take a look at some of his fights over the last few months.
He stands 5'11", weighing 167 pounds. Fighting out of Hazard, Kentucky, Ken Beverly.
He's out. He's out.
He knocked him out. Oh, wow. Wow.
All right, those videos. One of them was from Bluegrass MMA's YouTube, and then the rest of it was all pilfered from anybody that's posted videos and tagged him in it. So if I stole your Facebook video, I apologize, but we're just trying to get him out to the masses here. But so what you rolling here with 3 belts. Talk a little bit about each one of these.
Well, this is the first one I won. It's the King of the Mountains belt, and I basically got it for fighting one of the best fighters around here in the state of Kentucky. His name's George Campbell. And after me and him fought, after I won this belt, it made me the King of the Mountains champion for Hazard, Kentucky.
Okay, and you have to defend all these basically.
Not this one. This
Not
is a
that.
trophy.
So it's a trophy belt. What about this one?
This one was for a 155 championship in South Carolina. I fought Dylan Mason for it. He was a 6-0 fighter, and they promoted us where I was 4-0 and where he was 6-0. And after I beat him, I got this, and I had to defend this for South Carolina.
And finally, I think this one's the heaviest of all of them.
Yeah, this one was from fighting Timothy Engel, and this is for the 170 title. And after I beat him, I got this, and I got to defend this down in Harlan.
In Harlan, so good stuff. Good stuff. When you get back in it, I know you say January, February, so it's going to be a professional fight. We don't know where it's at, but I hear that even though that you're working with a bum hand here,
Yeah.
that evidently that you're still beating everybody in practice, and I hear you got a little brother brother that fights too?
Yeah, he's 16. He's got 2 belts in grappling right now. He competes just like we did when I was 16 and 17 years old in grappling. Stone's probably the best grappler I've ever seen around here under the age of 18. Him and Jacob Couch that grapples out of Viper Pit with us too.
But you still tap him out with one arm, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Viper Pit MMA, where's that at?
It's in Christopher. It's I think it used to be the old paint shop. It's right beside of my coach's house. He lives right beside of it.
Okay, well, man, we look forward to this. Next time you have a fight, make sure to let me know. And as long as it's not in South Carolina, I'll see what I can do about coming down.